This is the 6th generation of the Honda Civic Type R, codenamed FL5. It is based on the 11th generation of the Honda Civic, and the key is quite basic. This is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, and that's about it. The Honda logo is actually finished in red here because this is a Type R, and that's the reason this logo is also finished in red. You get 2 sensors here for the parking sensors at the front, 2 on either side as well, so 4 parking sensors. However, there's no front camera here. Honeycomb finish right there. There's actually a camera there for Honda sensing because this car has obviously got ADAS, but that is for the lane keep assist. Straight away, let me show you the most important thing about this car, which is obviously the engine, because this is a 2-liter turbocharged VTEC motor. Turbo VTEC is come here. Wow! The engine cover looks awesome. Sort of carbon fiber finishing, red finishing there. Says Type R right there. Huge air intake, and this is open for better breathing. There's no insulation, which is a good thing so that you can hear the engine better, but there's no space in the engine bay because this is actually a very big engine. There is where washer fluid goes in, and the design of this car will totally blow your mind. Firstly, it is lowered. It gets a body kit throughout, and these are the full LED lights. So this is actually the DRL, low beam. This is the high beam. Meanwhile, the indicator takes place of the LED DRL because I think the DRL is here as well. Gloss black finishing as well. So yes, this car looks awesome. Looks very sporty indeed. This is very much not functional. Why is this fake stuff happening here, Honda? Why you need to do that? And these vents also seem to be open. I thought they're closed. Okay, you're going to have a lot of insects on the inside because the kind of speed this car does is absolutely bonkers. In terms of length, it is almost 4.6 meters. The wheelbase is more than 2.7 meters. This is a hatchback, a 5-door hatchback, which looks super duper sporty. The wheels here are 19 inches. Earlier Civic Type R had 20-inch wheels, so they have downsized. But they still managed to increase the width of the tires, which means the contact patch has improved, which means the grip has also improved. Massive brakes, Brembo brake calipers, finished in red, of course. The tire size here is 265/30/19. Really low profile tires. Like, there is no sidewall here. Why is this stone right there? I have no clue at all. Meanwhile, it does not get 360-degree camera and all those things. It doesn't really need it. So you have got request sensors on both the doors, but if you come close to the car will automatically unlock. So that's a feature we have in India as well with the City. It gets 8 airbags because it actually gets a knee airbag for both the people at the front, which is quite cool. Really sporty seats, bucket seats. Says Type R right here on the headrest, but everything is manually adjustable. It even says side airbag here because obviously it has got a ton of airbags. Here you get some storage space, but again, hard plastics are plenty lower down, but some soft materials on the top, which is a good thing. Says Type R Civic R. I don't know why there are these 5 zeros. Can you tell me what is the significance of that? Door pockets are actually decent size at the front. The co-passenger can also lock and unlock the vehicle. Ambient light comes in from here. I think it has some LEDs on the top as well, so some sort of ambient lighting is definitely there in this car. Let's get to the rear because this is a Civic at the end of the day, so it should be practical. The seats at the front are red, but at the rear the seats are finished in black. However, the seat belts are still finished in red at the rear as well. Front seat belts are also red. The whole floor is finished in red. The carpet is finished in red. Door pockets are like really small at the rear. You get a tweeter here. In fact, you've got 4 tweeters. This has a 12 speaker Bose sound system. Does sound nice. And here you have no storage space, but this is sort of fabric, which means that you can just push your leg inside if you want. Space at the rear is decent. Under thigh support is not that great. It says Type R here. It also has this tickling function if you want to irritate the front passenger. No rear AC vents, no charging ports at the rear, no center headrest, no center armrest either, but 2 cup holders have been given, and there's a hump here. So center passenger is obviously not welcome, especially if he has to sit on top of this, which is going to be extremely uncomfortable for the person. It says SRS airbag right there, and headroom isn't that great because obviously it's a sloping roofline, so my head is obviously touching. Meanwhile, you get a light placement here. The dashboard looks just amazing. The design is mind-blowing. I love the design of Honda cars, especially the sportier ones like this Type R. You have height adjustable seat belts as well, so you can move it up and down if you so wish. But space is good, so I'm not complaining about it. And there is the parcel shelf. Let's get out. Yeah, it has got fixed headrests here. You can't move them at all. But I love the fact that Honda has done this beautiful double stitching in red color. Let's get to the boot of the vehicle because it is, I think, 410 liters or something of that sort. 402, I don't remember. But here you get decent amount of space. The parcel shelf is a bit broken right here, so just lift it and shut it. Yeah, that's how it operates. Yeah, but it's a bit broken, unfortunately. Now you can obviously increase the boot carrying capacity by pushing this seat ahead, 40-60 split, and below here there is some storage space because obviously it has got a spare wheel, which happens to be an alloy, but it's smaller size. It's 125/70/18. That is actually the toolkit. Yeah, it's an alloy, but not the same alloy which is there in this car. I think I fiddled with this particular tool. Let me put it back. It says Civic Type R here. So you can just change the number plate if you want to speed. Jokes aside, there are these hooks right here. Obviously you get isofix child seat mounts at the front. I'm assuming, I'm sure it must be having that, but a lot of hard plastic. So there's another parcel shelf which you can open from somewhere. Yeah, like this you can open it, and then I think I have just ruined it, so I'm just going to put it back. The design at the rear is very sporty because it gets a massive rear spoiler. Look at this spoiler, isn't that big? Well, that's what she said. You get 4 parking sensors at the rear. Why is there this fake stuff happening here? There's a reflector right here, says Type R. That is the reverse parking camera Civic, and this is obviously the Honda logo finished in red, which actually adds 2 horsepower. The indicator is functioning right there. However, these lights are not LEDs. This is halogen. This is also halogen. Honda in this year 2024, you're still giving us halogen, which is shocking. This is actually the rear fog, which is only there on one side, not there on both the sides. It gets this diffuser treatment. It gets these 3 exhausts as well, which looks quite cool, honestly. And this tail light is also quite nicely designed because it's a connected tail light. You get a rear wiper here, and you also get a washer right there. That is the shark fin antenna, and fuel goes in right here. You can just press it to open it. You don't have to press a button from inside, which is actually a cool thing. Usually you have to press a button for sure. Yes, it has got isofix child seat mounts, so you can take your children for a joyride and absolutely fly. Some instructions have been written here for the tire pressure. This is for the motor oil. You get a dead pedal, but the problem is not the clutch is where the brake should be. So pedals are 2 center set right here. Some warning here. How can any person even read that? I have no clue. Traction control button, parking sensors, and this is obviously for ADAS. This is to increase or decrease the intensity of the cluster. Obviously, I like this honeycomb finish here on the AC vents. Looks quite nice, but a lot of hard plastics lower down. Massive door pockets at the front. An auto function is only available for the front power windows, not for the rear ones, but thankfully everything is eliminated. This is obviously for the mirror adjustment, and they have this Alcantara suede finish on the door pads, also on the rear seats, which actually looks quite good. Getting in and out can be a bit difficult because the car is obviously very low. Indicators on at the moment. You can actually see that here, which is nice. If I open the door, you can also see which door is exactly open, which is quite cool too. Red finishing on the Honda logo. The steering also has this sort of Alcantara finish, which looks awesome. Again, continuous AC vent sort of a treatment with this honeycomb finishing. Amazing, I love it. This is a 9-inch screen. Let's actually turn it on. Yes, I'm responsible for whatever this car is going to do. We'll come to that in a bit, but there is no sunroof here, which is quite surprising. Light placement here on the top. There's light placement here as well. SOS button for the ADAS, and you get a mirror here along with a light. Same is the case there as well. You get a mirror along with a light. Now this is very nicely designed because there's some storage space here on the inside. Again, this nice suede finish. Twin cup holders have been given, and you get a lot of buttons here. So this is actually a wireless charging pad. This is a dummy. USB-A, USB-A, there is no USB-C here, and there's a 12-volt charging socket as well. So Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both of them actually work wirelessly. The beautiful gear lever. Yes, this is a manual. AC controls, which actually work nicely. Dual zone climate control, air conditioning. AC is an absolute chiller. You can operate it from here. You can operate the temperatures from here. So I think the sync mode is on right now. Yeah, let me turn it off, and then you can decide your own climate. Let's shut this. Has a light placement in the center. The steering is obviously adjustable both for reach as well as rake, but everything is so light now you can do it with one hand effortlessly. A flat bottom here would be really awesome. Controls here for the cruise control. This is for the audio system, and this is for voice command. And then you can press this. Where there's a button I need to press. Yeah, this is the button I press to browse through the multi-information display. In this 10.25-inch screen, which is fully digital, says Bose right here. Side curtain airbag. You have a handle to hold on to everywhere, because obviously the performance of this car will definitely blow your mind. So I'm straight away going to turn off the car. The engine start button, I think it pulsates. Does it pulsate? Usually it pulsates, but I don't know why it's not pulsating. It's telling me check rear seats. Yes, I will check every possible seat in this car. And here you have to press the clutch, and the clutch is extremely heavy. You really need to do a workout there. There's a full swipe up, which looks quite cool and shows the Honda logo here on the infotainment screen. And then again, it comes with the disclaimer. So obviously I have to accept everything. Not the slickest. This could be better for sure. Yeah, it's a bit cumbersome to use this screen because it's just badly organized. What is this TA button? See, I'm trying to press something. It doesn't respond. Trip computer, Honda Log R. So you can log in a lot of data, including lap times and stuff, because this is at the end of the day a sporty car. So let me turn on the G meter. Oh, 3D view. Wow, that is awesome. get so many gauges here. Everything is digital, data logging and all you can do here, telemetry. Oh my god, this is an information overload. All the details about the boost pressure, intake air temperature, oil temperature. This is a lot of stuff right here, which is actually cool. And then you have a lap timer here. Oh my god, this is a car or this is a PlayStation. I think it's a PlayStation. But anyways, you have navigation, which is inbuilt. Let me see, it's not very responsive. Takes its own sweet time to respond because we are in Dubai right now. This command goes to Japan, they approve it, and then it comes back. So it takes some time. I'm on unnamed road because nobody bothered to name this road. Poor road. No, it's named. Namkaran karna bhul gaye. And the usual bits. Yeah, let us actually get into all apps. You can also install some apps, I think. This is from 1980s. The fonts and everything is so bad here. Let's get into reverse so I can show you the reverse parking camera. No, I have actually bothered to get into fourth gear. Yeah, now we are in reverse. That is the reverse parking camera. Why can't it occupy all the space? This is obviously for front and rear parking sensors. You have got multiple views for the cameras as well, a top view too. But yeah, the screen isn't that interesting. Now this screen you can browse through. You can change a lot of stuff here. So the right one changes, obviously telling you what's the fuel efficiency like, what's the trip meters, what's the average speed. There's a navigation menu which has a compass. This is not from Jeep. Then it will obviously tell you what is your driver attention level. And this one is actually the tachometer, which is weird because this is into 1000, this is into 100. What was the need of this? I have no clue at all. And this is, I think, probably for the, yeah, how much throttle input you're giving, what's the fuel efficiency like probably. And there's a G-force meter as well. And it tells you if you're not buckled up the seat belt, the maintenance warnings and all that. That's for ADAS, obviously. So you can go and change this view as well. So as soon as I press this R+ button, and there it changes the cluster mode because now we are in Type R mode. So it's plus R, not R+. What am I even talking? Oh my god, it sounds nice. Drive mode selector here, dummy button, electric parking brake, and auto hold function has been given too. So as I see it, it is actually missing out on a few things, like there is no auto dimming mirror at this price, which is shocking. And these seats are manually adjustable, but then they are sporty seats, so I won't complain much about it. Let's listen to the horn. Oh my god, the horn is so bad, but the engine, yeah, that sounds nice. In fact, let's get into the drive mode here. I'll keep changing it. There are multiple drive modes. It's showing me some sort of display in the cluster as well. So I get into individual, and then I'm going to come into the customization part of this. So I just have to keep it pressed, and then I can change so many parameters. That's an information overload. So you do have a lot of stuff to play with. Didn't I tell you this is actually a PlayStation? And this PlayStation also has a nice display when you turn on the car after it gets reset, because the Type R logo comes there with nice graphics as well. This car's got automatic headlights. There are no automatic wipers here. And it has a very cool Easter egg, which is very difficult to find. I don't know why Honda has made it like a mystery game right here, because when you open it, it actually shows you this. What does it say? The Civic history goes on. I think the design of the first generation of the Civic is there. Some meters have been designed. It says Honda here. This is the matte console box, which is known as MPK. I don't even know what that means, but yeah, they have also gone ahead and put this Easter egg, which is very un-Honda like, because Honda is such a boring brand other than the Civic Type R, which is just amazing. But how is this PlayStation to drive? Let's start driving right away. Alright, let's turn on the vehicle. Pressing this heavy clutch to turn on the car because there's a clutch lock. It actually shows you the Honda logo there as well. There's this full swipe up thingy, and oh my god, it takes so much time for this screen to turn on. Command obviously goes back to Japan. Yes, I accept everything. So they really need to work on this. Let's get into the Honda logger and let's come into this mode. Okay, why is it not showing me? Okay, we have the G-force meter and all those things, but let's look at the temperatures first. Now we are in comfort mode. There is no, this car absolutely does not have an eco drive mode, which is actually a good thing. Press the brakes and off we go. So I'm also going to change this mode. Maybe we'll come to the G-force meter. Before that, I'm actually going to come to the rev counter. Why do we have two rev counters? I have no clue. Ask Honda that. So the gearbox is actually not the slicker shifting, but the clutch is extremely heavy. Yeah, this super duper heavy a clutch, and around the corners this car definitely goes very well. It is stiff, it is agile, and it is decently loud as well. It's not very loud, it is decently loud. So has the feel, and now I realize that what is the point of driving if I've not launched the car yet. So we are going to take this full circle and then I'm going to give it the full beans to show you what is the performance of this car like. So here we go. Let's stop right before the Tesla Cybertruck and I'm going to change the drive mode. I'm going to come to the Plus R mode, which is basically the Type R mode. We are going to turn off traction control. I'm going to keep this button pressed. Traction control off completely. Vehicle stability assist also off. Let's just reset this and let's time this car from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Revving the motor and off we go. Yeah, reaches 100 in second gear itself. 0 to 100 in 6.39 seconds, which is actually quite fast, but not as fast as the claim numbers, but at least closer to what Honda claims when compared to its other rival, which is the Hyundai Elantra N, where the 0 to 100 km per hour time is okay. We're going to do the brake test. Oh, yeah, the tires do screech a lot. These are Michelin Pilot Sport tires, good in terms of grip, but yes, they do screech under heavy braking, and then obviously ABS feels a bit sensitive here. The steering is very light, the controls are extremely light here, but the gearbox should have been slicker shifting, the clutch should have been lighter. So these are few aspects where Honda can definitely work upon. Yeah, that is actually the shift sound. Okay, it's reminding you it's time to shift again. So we're going to launch it again right here. This time though, I'm going to turn on traction control so it does not. Okay, I have to keep this button pressed to turn it on as well, which is quite weird. I've never expected that. We're actually going to come to the G-force meter right here into first gear. Are you ready? Little bit of wheel spin. I don't think it's going to be as fast. Oh my god, the kind of movement of the chassis when you... Okay, 6.3 seconds. So that is constant here. Claim time is 5.5 seconds, but at least it's closer to the claim when compared to the Hyundai Elantra N, because Hyundai claims that the Elantra N will go from 0 to 100 km per hour in 5.3 seconds. I could not do better than 6.7, 6.8 seconds, which means Honda gives you a more accurate picture of the performance of your car. Now this is powered by 2-liter turbo VTEC motor, which is the best of both worlds, turbocharged and VTEC. And VTEC kicks in around 5,500 RPM and goes absolutely bonkers. There's so much top end here. So low end is not the best, mid range is good, and it builds power gradually. The turbo kicks in like mad, and the top end is absolutely bonkers here. Torque steer has been controlled by using dual axis struts at the front, which is an innovative thing, because the problem with front wheel drive cars having so much power is they are not able to put all that power down. They keep hopping all the time and they torque steer a lot, but that's not the case here, because torque steer is very well contained right here, which is such a good thing. Now you want to see how this car handles. Oh my goodness, absolutely bonkers. Yeah, there's so much grip here thanks to the Michelin Pilot Sport tires, which are actually amazing here. Air conditioning off into first gear. Let's try and time this car again. Oh my god, it bogs down too much. That's a bit of a problem. Yeah, it does bog down. Yeah, gearing is so tall now that you don't have to shift into third gear to cross 100 kilometers per hour. In third gear, it's doing a mind-blowing 146 kilometers per hour, which is just amazing. It rev matches as well, but there is no launch control here, something which Hyundai offers with the Elantra N. It has a limited slip differential, and because this is a front-wheel drive car, putting all that power down would be a bit of a problem, but not really. It's somehow able to manage that, because of which this car is so fast that it set the lap record for the fastest time on the Suzuka circuit in Japan, as well as on the Nürburgring for front-wheel drive cars. Obviously, there's a lot of sand right here, which I obviously cannot cross. Oh, look at it. The way this car rev matches is mind-blowing. What an amazing rev matching happening right here. So let's get into reverse. I love the feel of this car. This is such a feelsome car. Amazing in terms of the driving feel, and it's only available with a manual transmission, which makes it even more mind-blowing. Phenomenal. Yeah, manual is a manual. There is no two ways about it. Let's just stop here. Time to launch again. Whew. Now let me get out of Type R mode. We'll actually come into the sport mode here. Actually, the thing is, I like the other cluster with the gauges. That looks better. Okay, come out of this back. Why is it so delayed? Let's swipe here to see the other gauges. It's time to time this car into first gear, revving the motor, and off we go. Yeah, it bogs down immediately, and then the whole chassis vibrates. on upshift, because that is the kind of performance it has to offer. But consistently around 6.5 seconds is what it takes to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which is quick. So I'll not deny the fact that this is a very, very, very quick car. This has 315 horsepower, 1 more horsepower and it would get stunners. 420 Newton meters of torque. This engine is very, very, very potent, and the best thing is you only get a manual. So if you're not skilled, this car is not for you. You need to know how to drive a manual gearbox car. That makes it even more exclusive, I feel. And in terms of efficiency, Honda claims this will return 12 kilometers per liter. Do I really care? Not much, because this car will return 5 to 7 kilometers per liter if you give it the beans like I am right now. But I love the handling of this car. The ride is not bad at all. It's not bad. I mean, it's obviously on the stiffer side, but it's not bone-jarring stiff like, say, the i20N. In that regard, definitely this car feels much better. There's an A380 taking off there. This time now, a lot of A380s actually take off. The body roll is supremely well connected, like contained here. I'm grinning all the way. I love the way when VTEC kicks in here, because it feels so amazing. Look at the way it absolutely pulls. Now we are in 4th gear. This is obviously a 6-speed gearbox. It does not hesitate at all. It has a top speed of 272 kilometers per hour. Yeah, the hazards were working there because it thought that there's an emergency braking happening right now. But oh, what a car! Absolutely mad! Yeah, it could have been louder. That's the only gripe I have with this car. It should have been louder. It should have had cracks and pops. It should have had launch control, because launching this car is not tricky. It's very, very, very tricky indeed. What a machine. I'm in absolutely love with the Honda Civic Type R. My only concern is, will I ever be able to actually get the claim time of Honda? 5.5 seconds seems a very fast thing to have, but no, it's not possible only somehow, because the front continuously keeps hopping. Even though it has this innovative suspension, it's not able to put all that power down, so that's a bit of a problem. Doesn't feel that it has much weight, this car. It's 1430 kgs, which is actually light. The problem here is that the fuel tank is very small. 47 liters is very small. I don't know why the Japanese always hesitate to give a bigger fuel tank, so that's also a bit of a problem. Now I'm going to change into the individual drive modes. I've already configured all of this right now to make sure that we are in the most sporty mode right here, and let's see what is the kind of acceleration this car can finally do, because right now I'm not really happy. I wanted to go a little bit faster. I'm not able to put all that power down, so let's just stop here into neutral, into 1st gear. Let's reset this. Yeah, come on baby, let's do this. Okay, Civic Type R, you have a huge responsibility on your head. Revving the motor and off we go. Bog down, bog down, bog down. Let's turn off the traction control. I think I'll have to use another innovative way of launching this car, which means that, okay, traction control has been reduced. I want to turn it off completely, so it does not turn off in individual drive mode, which means that I have to obviously come into the plus R mode, the Type R mode, and now I'm going to turn off traction control. Yeah, basically traction control turns off. Vehicle stability assist is what I want to turn off. Come on, I need more fancy stuff here. I'm going to reset this, and hopefully this time I'm going to be able to launch it much faster. We're going to try and do it under 6 seconds. All right, into 1st gear. Ready, steady, go! Oh my god, this was a better launch. Come on. Oh yes, we are faster here. 6 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Did not slot into 3rd properly, so that's a bit of a problem. It just doesn't slot properly at times, and it does move around quite a bit at higher speeds. So yeah, it is now moving up and down a bit. 4th gear, it red lines at 200 kilometers per hour, which is absolutely bonkers. And then the struggle obviously starts. Yeah, it starts to struggle quite a lot, but I love the rev matching. Yeah, that rev matching is so amazing. Oh my god, the way this car goes is just mind-blowing. Let's quickly look into the various drive modes this car has. I mean, what all settings you can actually change here. So in individual, I'm just going to show you. You can change the engine. What all parameters can be changed? Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. Steering can be changed between Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. The suspension can be changed between Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. The sound can be changed between Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. What is this? Rev matching, Comfort, Sport, and the gauges Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. Let's actually get into the Comfort gauge. Let's get into the Sport gauge. So there's a slight difference between Comfort and Sport, but more or less they are the same here. And then I can get into the Type R gauge here too. So obviously this car is expensive if you see it in comparison with, say, the Octavia RS. but the RS is no longer sold in India, and when it will be launched, it will be very expensive. But rupees 45 lakhs is a lot of money, but the kind of performance this car gives you is a lot as well. The rivals, obviously the GR Corolla, the Golf R, and obviously the Elantra N, which I was fortunate enough to drive very recently, and it's a phenomenal car. Okay, now it's time to launch once again. Let's hope we can go even faster. Let's get into Type R mode. Air conditioning off, into first gear. Traction control, let it be on only. Now let's see how it puts all that power down, and off we go. Box down, box down. Oh, 6.16 seconds. So that's something which it constantly does. So as I see it, the Honda Civic Type R is an absolute joy. It's so much fun to drive. This is the third Type R model which Honda launched. The first was obviously the NSX, then the Integra, and trust me on this, it's an absolute beast. What a car, bonkers to drive. The grip, the handling, the feel, the performance, everything in this car is absolutely next freaking level. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Wait a second, I have not tested one thing, which is, okay, now it has a soft limiter. I was going to test the soft limiter, but let's launch it again, and off we go. Come on. The whole dashboard moves. Bye bye.